is your organization thinking of moving to Oracle Cloud, but you need to know more about how Oracle views cloud-native security? Then this session is for you. Kailasanathan, Senior Director of Product Management with Oracle Cloud, and Jonathan Schreiber, Product Manager, will share everything you need to know about DevSecOps in Oracle Cloud.
Hi, everybody. My name is Waldron. I'm the Vice President for the Global Government Sector here at Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. And I spent my whole life building systems and developing tools for missions and for customers. And I really couldn't be happier to talking to all of you about how we can do exactly that for your customers. This is a safe harbor clause. This tells you that all the things I'm going to say, but they may not apply to your particular situation. So, take that under advisement. We are sponsors here at the Commit Conference. And we're sponsors here because we build tools, we build systems just like all of you guys do. And we want you to make sure that you know that and that we are here for you as you take on your next challenge. I know that after I speak, we're going to have Ron is going to come in and talk deep about our container tools, the Oracle Container Engine. Jonathan's going to come on and do a demo about Kubernetes and Grafana on how we bring all that together. I'm going to talk at the very end about some of our specialized solutions for some of the audience out there. And then, of course, we're going to be available for questions. Take any of that at the end. And I think there will be live questions even right now. So with that, I'm going to dive in. The first thing I want to tell everybody is that the Oracle Cloud infrastructure is real. There are a lot of people out there that sometimes don't even know or forget that we have a real, huge, hyperscale cloud all over the world designed to serve the exact kind of solutions that you guys built. We've got 26 regions live right now. We're building another 12 in the next year, which is frankly crazy. This is a global presence like few other cloud providers have. It's also really important to say that although we're Oracle Cloud, we don't just do Oracle things. We have all the Oracle stuff you know and love. So we have the Oracle database. We have amazing analytics. If you want to bring data together, smash that data and figure out what it all means, there really is no better cloud. But we have everything else too. We have a massive set of tools that are cloud native, container native, that are developer focused on the DevOps problem. And these tools are out there in other cloud providers, but they're here with us too. And there's reasons to choose us over them. There's really a couple of big reasons. I'm not going to hit on all of these in depth right now. We have better performance. We have low and predictable pricing. We have expertise at the enterprise. We are truly security first. And in a really deep way that gets missed a lot, we are deeply invested in the open environment. So first, I'll hit our superior performance. We are based from foundational level on bare metal compute. This gives us an ability to give performance to your applications that is faster than you can get essentially anywhere else. That's because we are not necessarily running VMs or any code on the machines that we provide to you. That means as you put your own virtualization layers over it, whether it be our container engines, whether it be your container engines or somebody else's, you have the highest performance because that virtualization is running right on the bare metal. We also have the fastest networking. We have layer 2 networking in the cloud, which is essentially impossible. Nobody else has it, but we do. And this means that your application can talk to itself faster and can drive better performance. Our economics are just unbeatable, and we aren't cheaper by 10 or 20%. In many cases, we're cheaper by 50, 60, 90%. I won't go into the details of this here, but it is absolutely worth checking out. Look at your workload, go to our cost comparison site. If you are running a workload that can run in our cloud and it can run in one of our competitors' cloud, check out our cost comparison. It's going to be radically cheaper in Oracle Cloud. We're going to talk more about this later, but we really took an entirely new approach to security. And so we built Zero Trust in from the very beginning. All of our virtualization is off the box. We cannot see your customer data. We cannot see into any of the things you're running onto our box. You have the entire machine, should you want it. We also have the VMs and all of that. We have the security built into every piece of the tools from the very beginning. This is really important. Oracle has built some of the most powerful software in the history of modern technology. We have also been a huge proponent and investor in the open architecture world. We are massive participants in CNCF. We have fully embraced all of the cloud native technologies out there. And so we really have these tools embedded into our applications and into our cloud in a way that is cloud agnostic. You can use our streaming data service, and it isn't just a forked version of Kafka, it is Kafka. You can use our serverless applications, FN, and you can run them in our cloud, and you can run them on your premises or in somebody else's cloud. That's not the case with a lot of our competitors, where if you deeply invest in their cloud native technologies, you are stuck in their system. This is just another picture of that, of the tools that we have that are truly cloud native and focused on you builders building the tools, using the tools you need to build the applications in the way you want to build them. And the key of all this is you don't have to take my word for it. Just try it. We have absolutely always free tier, and we have free trials. And this is not a free tier that's neutered and only gives you a few things. You have a lot of power in this free tier. You have database instances, you have compute, you have storage, you have network and load balancing, and you have a lot of all of it. Try it out, see what our cloud native tools are like, and you will be impressed.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Oracle Cloud Native Security Session. This is Kailasanathan here. I'm Senior Director of Product Management at Oracle Cloud. When we look at the security landscape, one of the biggest aspects is expertise. Finding experienced cybersecurity professionals has become a tough challenge. On top of it, most enterprises are having to constantly innovate to keep up. This has led to the emergence and rapid adoption of new technologies such as cloud native, DevOps, and DevSecOps. And the need of the hour is to democratize security across all aspects of the life cycle. Drilling specifically into cloud native security. Did you know that 20% of the top 1,000 Docker images have at least one critical vulnerability? 20% of the top 1,000 Docker images have no root account password. Containers are interesting in that they share the OS kernel. This leads to better utilization. However, lack of proper isolation is a huge security risk. Privileged containers running as root can be exploited by a malicious user. Containers created from images using open source or third-party software could contain known vulnerabilities. Container sprawl is another key challenge, mainly caused by a combination of limited visibility and ephemeral and lightweight nature of containers. Agile took us from months to days to deliver software. DevOps took us from months to minutes to deploy software. And we are seeing that more and more applications are becoming mission critical. It is the need of the hour that we incorporate security across the various aspects of the life cycle. And DevSecOps is essentially the methodology of integrating security tools within the DevOps process in an automated fashion. DevSecOps is not just about tooling, it is also about the people and process aspects of things. This ultimately leads to a cultural change within the entire organization, essentially becoming upskilled to think and act upon security. This also allows them to collaborate more efficiently and thereby creating a security culture. An important element of DevSecOps is the pipeline. Here is one example from GitLab. We have a similar one that we use internally at Oracle. There are many other examples available from other cloud native vendors as well. It essentially starts with a developer IDE, a source code repository, moving to a CI/CD server, a binary repository for storing your images, a container images, a staging QA environment, production and monitoring environments. And all of this leads to a fairly efficient and a highly automated way of producing innovation in software. But this also provides us with an opportunity to embed security at every stage within this pipeline. Take a look at pre-commit hooks. For example, it avoids leakage of sensitive information. Storing credentials in configuration files within a secret vault, a secure and secret vault, all of your secrets encrypted, is highly efficient from a security standpoint. Every piece of code is tested upon commit. And so now, as part of your security code review, you can look for SQL injection, cross-site scripting using automated tools. Developers can correct these errors much earlier in the life cycle. In addition, web application scanners are available for some dynamic testing and vulnerability assessments. Vulnerability assessment is a very important aspect. Claire is a popular open source cloud native tool that scans the raw Docker images and gives us an exhaustive report on vulnerabilities. Equally important are observability tools that provide us with critical monitoring and remediation capabilities. Ultimately, we want to get to a compliance as a code environment, so everything is automated and streamlined. Shifting gears, I want to focus my next part on best practices that we follow within our team, and also what recommendations we particularly offer to several public sector and government cloud customers. Let's first take a look at what is cloud native at Oracle. This is an overview of the various cloud native developer services that we offer within Oracle Cloud. It covers key services within the adopt category, including console and marketplace, to the build tools, including API design and Cloud Shell, infrastructure as code that we offer through our resource manager service, to deploy tools, including Kubernetes and serverless, to the operate tools, including monitoring and logging. I'm taking OKE as an example, but this applies to all the services that we build within Oracle Cloud Native organization. We deliver tools and services that are complete, integrated, and based on open source. The key is open source. We actively participate in community-driven open source container technologies. We invest in and leverage open source technologies as the fundamental basis for portability. OKE offers an enterprise-grade and developer-friendly container orchestration service based on Kubernetes. It is fully managed and integrated with a private registry and available in all Oracle Cloud commercial regions. All of this leads to reduced time to value and faster time to market, since as a developer, you don't have to worry about infrastructure or container orchestration or the application availability. All of this come built in. OKE team follows the following best practices. We keep up with the community and support the latest released version of Kubernetes. Always apply the least privileged security controls for cluster access. Apply very strong network policies to ensure highest levels of security. One good example here is placing worker nodes on private subnets. Isolate sensitive workloads with a combination of RBAC and namespaces. Encrypt and safeguard our secrets. And leverage audit logs and other observability tools for continuous monitoring and remediation. I want to now talk about some of the security capabilities that OKE offers. It starts with the foundation, which is the infrastructure. OKE is built on highly secure second generation Oracle Cloud, as Jonathan earlier mentioned. This offers the highest levels of infrastructure and data security. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is fully SOC 1 to ISO 27001 compliant. It includes the best of capabilities from a data encryption standpoint. We encrypt data while at rest and offer capabilities to encrypt data in transit and also take care of key management capabilities as well. Strong access controls for operator access coupled with in-depth auditing. Console and API security includes, no matter how you interact with OCR resources, you will have to go through proper authentication and authorization checks. Control plane host security includes a combination of access controls for patching and monitoring tasks. Another key important takeaway for for this slide is isolation. Different isolation boundaries are available based on the different needs that you might have. And you need to pick the one that works best for you. We offer resource isolation at the region level, at the compartment level, at the availability domain level, and at the host level. This is a key tenet of our overall security approach. This essentially includes isolation at pretty much all the varying levels that you can think of. Shifting gears, now talking about security controls. Security controls, it is extremely important to have a rich set of security controls to choose from. And one size does not fit all. So the key here is to provide a bunch of choices to our customers and let you pick the right options for a given use case. This includes everything from IAM policies, authorization controls, secure keys, certificates, API gateway for secure API ingress, on-time patching of CVEs, and multi-factor authentication for our customers who need that second level of validation. Transitioning to network security now. Again, network security is a foundation for any of the security architectures that we can think of, and particularly more important from a cloud standpoint. Oracle Cloud provides key capabilities including security lists, route tables, VCN subnet network segmentation, VPN support, and a whole slew of capabilities for network security. This is the foundation. On top of it, OKE offers several cloud-native security capabilities. It supports the concept of service mesh to run on top of OKE. It could be Istio or any third-party service mesh offering. OKE also supports networking tools such as Calico. Public sector and government cloud customers who leverage OKE can now take advantage of private worker nodes with no public IPs. Basically, it is the ability to limit the network traffic. On top of it, customers can also take advantage of pod security policies, private load balancers, and web application firewall, pretty much covering the entire gamut of use cases that we can think of. The last set of categories include data security, visibility, and audit. Encryption, TLS-enabled interactions, and in-transit and at-rest encryption of container images in OCI registry service are important set of tools within the data security category that we offer. It is equally important to offer observability tools, particularly around monitoring, audit logging, and several other popular add-ons that we hear from our customers to essentially cover other day to day end use cases. Within Oracle Cloud, our compliance thinking starts from day one, and there is a strong emphasis to support compliance certifications across both commercial and public sector aspects of things. And so we have everything from FedRAMP certification to G-Cloud certification. And our approach to OCI data center design, as well as to DevSecOps, helps us approach compliance in a unified way for each regulation and framework. Passing it to Jonathan.
Thanks, Juan. Hi, everybody. I'm Jonathan Schreiber. I'm a product manager at Oracle Cloud, and I'm working on our developer services. I want to show you today one piece of a continuous delivery pipeline that will help customers meet their DevSecOps goals. So if we think about a CI/CD pipeline and automating deployment, often customers want to be able to ensure that their governance requirements are met in their pipeline, and those checks are often manual. And so one piece that we want to show today is how we can automate delivery using a system to validate the artifacts before they're deployed to Kubernetes. And we're going to do that using the Grapheus metadata API. So this is an open source project that we're going to integrate in with API, with OKE in our demo. So what we're going to show is just a sample deployment going to our OKE cluster, and we're going to use Grapheus to record a note. So Grapheus works in which there are types of metadata that are notes, and then instances of that metadata are occurrences. And we're going to enable an admission controller webhook to OKE. So this is part of the security surface that Kubernetes provides, where we can validate based on our own sort of logic what's allowed to be deployed as a pod. All right, well, let's jump in. So here I've opened up Cloud Shell. So Cloud Shell is in the OCI console. So here we are, and I'm going to use this to run commands with our OKE cluster. So first of all, let me just show you that I'm running Grafeus, so locally in my cluster. This could be run sort of in your cluster or another location. And then I've already set up the signature webhook that is going to validate our deployment. So the first thing I want to show is just that we've set this up so we can't just deploy any container. The container image needs to be verified before it's allowed. So I've got a sample deployment here of MySQL. So let me just show you this. So this is just going to deploy the MySQL image, a specific tag, specific version, 812, into our cluster. So you see here that the deployment is not allowed. So we can look at the logs. See why. So we can see here that no matching signatures for the container image. So that's part of our validation. It's the negative case where it's not allowing the container image to be pulled if there's not a signature that matches. The signature is we're going to sign using GPG, the hash. So that's going to be our unique signature that's going to be checked by the admission controller. So let's go sign this and then push that to Grafeus, the metadata API. So we can see here's the SHA. Got the images. I've got the MySQL image. Got the MySQL image pulled locally. We can see here that this is the SHA. So we're just going to take this and sign it. Okay, and then just kind of sign that. All right, let's check the signature. Great, so we've got the signature now. And you use that signature to make an occurrence in Grafeus. First, I'm just gonna set up. Okay, so we're gonna make the occurrence for this specific container image tag. Okay, so here it is to that resource with the signature I just made. And then let me make sure that we can talk to Grafeus. Okay. And then we'll post. Great, so now we have an occurrence. And so now that the signature exists, we should be able to deploy MySQL. Well, we're happy about that. So now we see that it succeeded, and MySQL's there. We can go look at the logs if we want to see what happens. So it validated, and the signature is verified. So there we go. If we try to deploy a different container or a different tag, it should be denied. So we can show that again. Got just a NoSQL server, latest. Nope, can't deploy NoSQL because there's no signature that matches. So there we go. So we showed using the Grapheus open source project, metadata API, and how we can automate the artifact verification for container images that are going to our OKA cluster. All right, thanks.
Hi, everybody. I'm back to talk about some of our specialized capabilities in the Oracle Cloud for the government and public sector. So we have 29 regions all around the world that we have built for customers of all sorts. But in the United States, we are building 9 regions for the US government. 5 of them are already built and live. They have FedRAMP High accreditation, and they have the IL5 accreditation. And we're building right now 4 regions for the US government at IL6 secret and at top secret. 2 of those regions at secret and top secret are coming live right now. They're actually in accreditation, and they're getting on the US government's classified networks right now. It's really important to understand the way we've approached this because it is different from some of our competitors. We have completely physical separation between each of these, we call them realms, which are collections of regions. So our IL5 US DoD realm, which serves the Department of Defense, the national security community at the highest level of unclassified security, is completely physically separated from our realm designed to serve the rest of the US government at FedRAMP High. That physical separation is a really big deal and a complete isolation from other tenants that you may not want next to you. The same thing is obviously the case at secret and top secret. Our secret realm is on the US government's large secret network, as is our top secret realm, and the 2 are completely isolated from the internet and from each other. That may not mean a lot to a lot of you, but those secret and top secret regions, we call them national security regions. Oracle National Security Regions is a really big deal. So these are facilities that are hardened to government requirements and have isolation from radio signals, specific power supplies, all of that. They are connected to the US government's top secret and secret networks and completely isolated from the internet via air gap. They're operated solely by TS/SCI cleared personnel from within a SCIF, which gives them the highest level of security. And really importantly, because again, it's a differentiator from how we are approaching this, we have a strategy called Everything Everywhere. And that means that a service cannot go GA, generally available in our commercial regions, until it has a path into our government and national security regions. What that means, net effect for you, is that all of our services are available in our gov regions and available in our secret and top secret regions. And that is a huge differentiator. And finally, as I've talked about, we meet the highest standards of compliance, FedRAMP High, IL5, and we're working on our accreditation for IL6 and top secret, which can meet the tightest SAP and SAR requirements. I'll just close out on one last recap of why it's worth at least trying out the Oracle Cloud. We have bare metal and networking that make migration easy and give you performance like you can't get anywhere else. We have vendor agnostic cloud native technology that allows you to build in a very cloud native way, but also move those workloads in and out of the Oracle Cloud. And we are priced for scale. We know that the customers that are going to come to us are going to come to us with applications of scale, and we've made that affordable. We've made that make sense versus staying on-premise and versus our competitors out there. We have all the key resources, compute, networking, block store, They are faster, they are cheaper, and we have better SLAs than our competitors. On top of all of them, we have the cloud native technologies like you've just been hearing about from Grafana and Kubernetes and functionless, serverless functions, and all of those tools that you use to build with every day. I'll close out there. I know that there's some Q&A time after this presentation. We also have a virtual booth, and we have a ton of resources to feed you as you want to explore this. But the best way to explore is to just try it. It literally costs you nothing. Take a few minutes, check out the always free tier, check out our services. You'll be impressed. Thank you.